Re- Okay. So, I had the question of types of writing, yes?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. So, what is descriptive writing? When you focus on the detailed description of people, places, or things. For example, if I say the golden sunset, okay, the golden sunset. Now, sunset, it is describing the sunset by the word golden. So, the golden sunset painted the day with hues of orange and pink, okay, casting long shadows across the quiet beach, adding adjectives. Descriptive means what? Description, describing. So when you use more of adjectives in a sentence, that becomes descriptive writing. So generally, creative writing, when we give to our students to enhance their vocabulary part, we work on descriptive writing. Okay. For example, I can make a simple sentence like, I saw a cat. Okay. Now, if I want to add more words, which all words I can use in this sentence? I saw.
I saw the furry fat cat.
So what you did, that is descriptive writing. Okay. Adding more adjectives or describing whichever words are there, whichever people, places, things. So describing, naming words. So again, which words describe naming words? Adjectives. So when you talk about descriptive writing, you focus on detailed description, and for that you need to add more and more adjectives. Okay. Now, next is narrative writing. What is narrative writing? Narration. What do you mean by the word narration?
Direct and indirect.
Yes. Telling something which has happened. And why we use this, or where do we use this mostly? In stories. Okay, telling the stories with characters, settings, and plots. Okay, for example, Ria walked through the old mansion, her footsteps echoing as she uncovered a long lost family secret. Okay, so you are narrating the scene, this plot. So when you tell a story, okay, you narrate everything, giving the details, and the details can be about the characters, about the setting, and the plot. But why we call it narrative writing?
Because sometimes we use direct sentences the word as a word does it.
Narrative. What does this word mean? Narrative, narration,
Because
story.
we are truth.
Okay. Then we have expository writing. What is that? When you put things, when you put the information in a plain, simple way. Okay, okay, clear, logical way. Okay. It can be compare and contrast, where you're comparing two things, where they are contrast in nature, like tea and coffee. So, talking about the similarity and talking about the difference. So, that is compare and contrast, but this is the basic fact. This is the information which is clear, which is direct to the point, that tea and coffee both are popular, but tea has more, tea has less caffeine, or coffee has more caffeine. So compare and contrast. Okay, so these are actually fact based, logic based. Okay, truth, reality, without any polishing or without any ifs and buts. So then it can be a cause and effect also. Like pollution causes health problems. Okay, like asthma. So asthma, that's a health problem which is caused by pollution. So cause and effect. Okay. Science related. Okay. Or it can be a problem solution. Like traffic congestion can be reduced by what? Traffic congestion can be reduced by what?
By odd and even number.
Yeah, or carpooling. Okay.
Mm.
So when we talk about facts, when we talk about cause and effect, when we talk about problem solution, when we talk about compare and contrast, then that is called what? Expository writing. No mirch masala added. Okay. Then we have persuasive writing. What is that? The word itself says. Pers- what is
Per-
persuade? What is persuade?
Persuade me to follow something.
No, to convince someone. Okay. When you try to convince someone, advertisements, right? They they try to convince us so that we buy that product, right? Yes. Also, it can be something which is in benefit of the uh, human and the world. So, like recycling should be mandatory to protect the environment. Why I'm saying it should be mandatory? I'm trying to influence you. I'm trying to change your thought of mind or trying to agree with me, that you agree with me. I'm trying to convince you or persuade you, right? Okay. And then it can be an argumentative writing. What is that? Very simple. Argument. When do you do the argument? When you use the logic and you use evidence to prove your point, right? If I have to argue, I should have my logic, I should have my evidence so that I can prove my point. Okay, so example research shows that online education can be as effective as traditional classrooms. Okay. Then comes reflective writing. What is reflective writing?
We have learned, we come out with that.
Yes. My personal thought, my personal experience, not necessary that it will be same as yours. Okay. So when you experience something and you share that information by writing it down, that is your reflective writing. Personal thoughts and experiences. For example, if you go for some trekking and you share that experience, so that is your reflective writing. Or maybe you went through a situation and you came out of that situation and you share your experience. That is your reflective writing. Okay. For example, my trip to the mountains taught me the value of slowing down and enjoying the nature. So that is what I had the perception, but it's not necessary that the another person who goes feels the same. He may come up with some different reflection on life. Okay, so that's reflective writing. Then comes analytical, as the word suggests, analytical. What does analytical means?
Ana- Analyze करना.
Yes, एग्जामिन करना, एनालाइज करना, ब्रेक डाउन करना आइडियाज को. ठीक है. Like in the Shakespeare Macbeth, the theme of ambition leads to the protagonist's downfall. Yeah, that's a kind of opinion writing. Okay. To put your thoughts in, you put your opinion after analyzing things. So that's analytical writing. Okay. Then comes creative writing. What is creative writing?
Imaginary, what we see, what we saw.
Creative writing is all imagination. It can be anything. Your imagination. It can go weird. Okay. Anything. It can be. in a form of a poetry, short stories, or fictional stories. Okay. If I say the stars whispered the secrets to the moon as the night unfolded its magic. Now, what is it happening?
No.
It's only my imagination. Okay. Now, why there is so much of emphasis on this creative writing part? You must have heard students, parents looking for creative writing class
To
because if
do
yes, please go ahead.
to develop their imaginations and to look forward for the thinking process, developing their imagination and to come
See,
out many things from the inside hidden. Yes.
see, whatever topics we have covered, be it descriptive writing,
Ma'am, your voice.
what happened? Be it descriptive writing, be it narrative writing, be it expository writing, persuasive writing, argumentative, reflective, analytical. Okay. In all these, you don't need to think. You don't need to change the things. It is as it is. If you go for the descriptive writing, you have to describe. So you have to learn those words and you have to describe, right? So there is
Oh,
nothing from your end. Only for reflective writing, it's a part of creative writing because here you will feel something which can be different. But if you talk about descriptive, if you talk about narrative, so you are just narrating whatever it is there, whatever is there. Expository is totally fact. Persuasive is you want to convince. And to convince, you have to give the facts. Okay, you have to do the research and you have to give the facts. Again, you cannot change that. Argumentative is again doing the research, putting your points. Okay. Analytical is of course analyzing and coming up with the facts. But it is reflective and creative writing where you have the liberty. When we talk about expressing our own self, we want that liberty. Whatever is in my mind, I should be able to convey. For others, for all the other type of writing, I should have a good vocabulary. I should have, must know the facts. I must know the details. I must um, do the research. But that is not the creative part. That is mugging up, learning up, and just giving what you have learned. But here comes the originality. Here comes the expression, which makes you unique from others. You become yourself by doing reflective writing and creative writing. Again, reflective is still limited you because whatever you will see, whatever you will experience, you have to write that. But when it comes to creative writing, you have no limitations, no foundations. And new things, innovations will always come through creativity. If you don't have creativity, things will remain same. To have innovations, to have new things, you must become a creative person. To go out of box, to think out of box. Okay. So for that reason, we want our children to be creative at writing, where they are able to put up their ideas. We watch movies, right? If nobody is creative, then how the ideas will come? Okay. So not all the movies are fact based. Mostly are
friction based
fiction
creativity.
based. And The most important part, why we want our children to imagine, to think, to channelize their energy in the right direction. Okay, we all are creative. Some few are more creative, few are less creative, but at a point, everyone is creative. Okay, if you don't utilize this energy in a right way, you will go in the wrong way. So, if you have a creative mind, why not focus it on the writing part? Many a times you'll see that children, they have so much imaginations. They're overthinkers. They keep imagining things which are not even happening. Okay, why don't we put it into something positive, something constructive, where they release those energy instead of doing overthinking and then thinking negative. That's why we want our children to write their journal, okay, so that that energy is utilized. But to do any sort of any form of these writings, what do you think is they must have what? To do any form of these writings, what they should have?
Imaginations and thinking skills.
Along with that, vocabulary. That's important. If I have thoughts, but I don't have words, how do I put it into words? So the other form of writing helps. Descriptive writing helps. Eventually, all those things will help creative writing. Because doing all these things, doing the descriptive, analytical, all those writings, you will learn the vocabulary part. You will learn new words that you can use while doing creative writing. So when we teach creative writing, we will have to teach them descriptive writing so that they learn more adjectives. Okay. So it is interrelated. Okay. Any doubts, any confusion?
Yeah, ma'am, this is okay, fine. This is a basic, but how to teach the children when they are writing? Because there is a set pattern for writing these.
See, the most important part is focus on synonyms, focus on antonyms, focus on adjectives, focus on figure of speech. If you prepare a good base, then only you will come to this stage. If they have learned all forms of figure of speech where idioms are there, similes are there, metaphors are there, you have to, that's what I told, that you have to build a building. For that, a base work has to be done. How the base work would be done? By using figure of speech. Okay, so more and more similes, metaphors, idioms, oxymorons, all these things, they will have to, you will first have to, that's the raw material which helps to build the building. You cannot directly come to this all. Okay.
No, actually, may just say, what I was facing a problem. Just I want to share that
Hmm.
when I was given a persuasive writing, uh, child got a homework where I just so they have to told them कि they have to give three at least arguments in starting for pursuing the reason. तो वो एक pattern था कि first why you want, second, then third, so that
You're talking
finally
about which grade, which class?
she was in fifth.
Fifth grade. Okay. So
Yeah.
see, there is no set of, as such, there is no set of rules कि persuasive writing है तो ये तीन होना चाहिए. That is just the points that will make your writing more impactful. Got it? You should
Hmm.
understand that persuasive means what? You must have enough points to impress the other person or to convince the other person. Okay. So that's a strategy. Chalo work on why, how, and maybe
Hmm.
like whatever. That's a strategy so that you get your points. But it will not work always. Any set will not. Do you think all the advertisements have the same concept, the same lines? They
Hmm.
all
Hmm.
have different approach. So you cannot restrict yourself to these three only. It will always depend on the content, the idea, the product, the information. Okay.
This is, it was a topic why the lunch break should be for the if we have to write a thing. मतलब it was something mixed mix and match of the letter and writing part. We have to write the all the headings and subheadings of the as my mistress and some, and then the points which I am saying, the 3 points, and then that was the thing. So where I find something, because I do not, I know the meanings, but I
Hmm.
was not able to express myself and tell her why these things are happening. And this
That
pattern is,
depends from topic to topic. That will vary from topic to topic. Okay. Like, if we talk about descriptive writing, you can have the introduction, you can have the set, you can set the scene, or you can introduce the subject. Then you can have the body part where you give the
mm,
sensory details, and then you can come to the conclusion. Okay. For narrative, again, you can have the introduction. Then, because it's a story, so you will have a rising action, okay, where you develop the conflict or the story problem, then come to a climax, and then falling action, and then conclusion. So that is for narrative, because that's a story. You always need a climax. Okay. And
the
then,
same way one, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Uh, this way, the class 2 child which I'm teaching, the passage was given, a small passage, reading passage, where they have to find out who are the characters, what are the plot, what was the problem. They have to underline that, and what was the solution.
huh,
है ना? So these type of material which is not available on the net and everything, where I just need the thing.
that's again a kind of, own creativity. So
Hmm.
not everything you can get on the net. You will have to be little creative for that. Okay. Like when you give an expository writing, you need to have an introduction. Then you have, as I told you, the body part would be either compare, contrast, cause, effect, or the problem, and then you can come to the conclusion. In persuasive writing, you will give the introduction, what is the opinion or the argument, and then you can have the uh, whatever the present reason with
Hmm.
the evidence, and then you can always
Hmm.
the counter arguments, and then coming to the conclusion. Okay. Again, for this argumentative, also, you can have the topic, thesis, what evidence you have, and then conclusion. So, conclusion, so you can always divide it into three parts: introduction, body, and conclusion. That is a common for all the types of writing. And when you do paragraph writing, then also you teach that there should be three paragraphs: introduction, body part, and the conclusion part. So, introduction for reflective can be the experience, and then body will be what happened. Okay, for reflecting what happened, and then what did you feel, what did you learn, what are the conclusions. Then in analytical, you can have the logic and thesis, and then what is the analysis of different aspect, what supporting evidence, coming to the conclusions. Okay, and in creative writing, we have the setup, then we have the body where we have characters, we have plots, we have themes, and then conclusion. So that's a basic structure. Okay, then you can always add extra points.
Hmm. Thank you.
That's all. Any more
Uh,
doubts?
या पोयम का भी मैम, जैसे ए बी और ये सब लिखते हैं, वो कैसे करते हैं, दैट इज द थिंग कि
एबी में क्या होता है कि फर्स्ट और थर्ड लाइन जो है वो राइम करनी चाहिए, और सेकंड और फोर्थ लाइन जो है वो राइम करनी चाहिए. ओके, फर्स्ट और थर्ड, सेकंड और फोर्थ, दे शुड राइम.
ओके.
है ना? द सन शाइन्स ब्राइट, द बर्ड्स ऑल सिंग. सो ब्राइट के साथ में it fills my heart with light, bright and light. And the last line, and makes my spirit spring. So sing and spring. So first, third, second and fourth. And ABBBA में क्या होगा? फर्स्ट और फोर्थ लाइन राइम करेगी, और सेकंड और थर्ड लाइन राइम करेगी. तो waves crash high upon the shore, their echoes roar beneath the sky. High and sky. So first and fourth. And second, third rhyme. And then we have AABA, जहाँ पे फर्स्ट, सेकंड और फोर्थ तीनों राइम करेंगे. थर्ड वाली कुछ भी नहीं है ना? द स्टार शाइन ब्राइट, द मून इज हाई, clouds drift to so slow. So third line is not rhyming. A dream floats by. So bright, high, by. First, second, and fourth line, they are um, rhyming together. Okay.
One more thing, how can we help them to increase the vocabulary when we are taking our classes?
Work on antonyms, synonyms, and adjectives.
Okay.
And figure of speech. After that, figure of speech. Of course, more and more reading. Yeah.
Because in the IAP, na, they generally give a one novel, one reading script
Hmm.
for the whole semester.
Hmm.
And by the side by side, these things are dependent on that only. And the major issue is they don't send that novel at home.
Hmm.
They keep in their locker only. So that is the thing where we find the difficulty to teach them.
Then you have to search for extra material then. So English is a language. You cannot restrict to any one book or something. You can just explore more and more. Okay. Only thing is you should know, if you're reading a paragraph, you should know ins and outs. If there's a simile or not, if there's a metaphor or not, which part of speech it is, what are the synonyms, what are the antonyms. Okay, when you read a paragraph, you should know, is there any idiom? Okay, is there a phrase? Is there a clause? Is there any adjective? What are the synonyms there, antonyms there? So you can pick from anywhere. Don't restrict to any one particular book. Just pick. You can. It can be from a newspaper also, any magazine also. The more you work, because it's a foreign language, it's not a mother language. So you have to
Yeah.
work hard. But at least you have the understanding. Okay, as as bright as, oh, that's the simile. So then you can have your own, book or maybe some diary where you keep writing. एक
Yeah,
पैराग्राफ
that.
पढ़ा, उस पैराग्राफ में जो भी था वो सब नोट डाउन किया, सिमिली था या कोई इडियम था या कोई नया वर्ड था या कोई एडजेक्टिव था, whatever वो आपने नोट डाउन करा. मेक इट अ हैबिट. ठीक है. जो जॉली ग्रामर में हम पार्सिंग कराते हैं नाउन के, ऑल्दो देखो नाउन प्रोनाउन ये सब चीजें आपको राइटिंग में काम नहीं आती हैं. इट डजेंट मैटर. बट राइटिंग में क्या काम आता है? फिगर ऑफ स्पीच, मोर वोकैबुलरी के लिए एडजेक्टिव्स, एज आई टोल्ड यू, एंटोनिम्स, सिनोनिम्स, और एक्टिव से पैसिव करना, पैसिव से एक्टिव करना, डायरेक्ट इनडायरेक्ट, ये मॉडल्स कैसे यूज करना, दैट मेक्स योर राइटिंग पार्ट. वहां पे अगर आपको नहीं पता कि नाउन है या प्रोनाउन है, दैट डजंट मेक डिफरेंस. राइटिंग करते वक्त व्हाट थिंग्स यू शुड नो कि उसका टेंस सही होना चाहिए, उसका स्ट्रक्चर सही होना चाहिए, है ना. एक्टिव है तो क्या वर्ब फॉर्म लगेगा, पैसिव है तो क्या वर्ब फॉर्म लगेगा, है ना. डायरेक्ट से इनडायरेक्ट किया तो क्या चेंजेस आएंगे. दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट व्हेन इट कम्स टू राइटिंग. ओके. एनीवन
एक
एल्स,
क्वेश्चन,
एनी डाउट्स? बिकॉज
या वन,
probably this is the last class.
मैम वन मोर थिंग, एक हमने मिस किया था. एक तो हमने मोडाल विद दी वर्ब्स किया था, एक मोडाल्स विद एडजेक्टिव्स करना था हमने. मोडाल विद एडवर्ब्स था या क्या था, एक टॉपिक था वो मैंने लिखा
मॉडल
था.
एडवर्ब्स, प्रोबेबली, है ना, जहां पे एडवर्ब किसी भी
हाँ.
तरह की प्रोबेबिलिटी शो करता है, अजम्पशन शो करता है. ठीक है. जैसे कि एल वाई वर्ड्स, प्रोबेबली, सर्टनली, डेफिनेटली, दीज ऑल आर एडवर्ब्स, मॉडल एडवर्ब्स. अगर कोई एडवर्ब है जो ये बताता है कि चीज हो भी सकती है, नहीं भी हो सकती है, कम भी हो सकती है, ज्यादा भी हो सकती है, तो वो कहलाएगा मॉडल एडवर्ब. Certainly, uncertainly, undoubtedly, perhaps, all these are modal adverbs. Okay? Any more?
एंड मैम, हाँ, एक चीज मैम, कल डायरेक्ट एंड इनडायरेक्ट में मैंने आपसे पूछा भी था, जैसे कि हमने कहा था कि जो रिपोर्टिंग वर्ब्स होता है उसके बेस पे, यानी रिपोर्टिंग वर्ब इज राहुल सेड, so the said is the reporting verb.
Hmm.
And अगर हमने बाहर reporting verb is in a present tense, simple present tense, then the when we change in direct, all will be, the narration will be in present, simple present only.
नहीं, अगर पास्ट है तो सिंपल प्रेजेंट सिंपल पास्ट में
नहीं नहीं, he says.
सेज नहीं, सेज में कोई चेंज नहीं होगा।
says में कोई चेंज नहीं, he say होगा तो चेंज होगा।
ही सेड होगा तो चेंज होगा।
ओके।
तो आपने जो सेंटेंस दिया उसमें सेड लिखा है ना, इसीलिए
हाँ।
हैव का हैड हो गया।
ओके, ठीक है। क्योंकि मेरे से आई एम नॉट एबल टू एक्सप्लेन यू, मतलब एक सेकंड। हाँ मैम, इम्परेटिव और ये सब था ना, जैसे मैम इम्परेटिव सेंटेंसेस था तो उसमें था कि टू यूज होगा इम्परेटिव में।
हाँ, लेकिन ये सेंटेंस इम्पेरेटिव नहीं है ना।
नहीं नहीं, मैं आई एम आस्किंग, वैसे अपना इसमें नहीं है।
हाँ,
तो हम टू करेंगे, एंड इफ एंड वेदर फॉर द इंट्रोगेटिव।
अगर आंसर यस या नो में है।
और अगर क्वेश्चन वर्ड है तो वी विल नॉट यूज एनी ऑफ द थिंग, नाइदर दैट, नाइदर इफ एंड वेदर, नथिंग।
आस्ट।
हाँ मैम, आज जैसे क्वेश्चन था तो एक एक just a second ma'am, I just bring that book where I was reading it. मुझे नहीं मालूम, I cannot talk. Here's the thing. Asif said, sir, I have not completed my homework. So here the Asif said is after comma, and that is in 6699, the sir said I. So here we said Asif told sir, हाँ?
हम्म।
तो यहाँ पर सेट का टोल्ड।
अगर दो दो लोग मेंशन्ड है तो सेड का टोल्ड हो जाएगा।
ओके, दैट इज वाज कन्वे। एंड हियर जैसे है, कार्तिक सेड टू महादीप, विल यू वेट फॉर मी एट द शॉपिंग मॉल। तो कार्तिक आस्क्ड महादीप दैट ये will का that he would wait for him at the shopping mall.
या यू कैन ऑल्सो राइट इफ ही वुड वेट एट द शॉपिंग।
ओके।
विल का वुड
ओके।
हो जाएगा और इफ आ जाएगा बिकॉज इसका आंसर यस या नो में है।
ओके, ठीक है। The same way the old man said to the guard, please show me the way to the post office. The old man requested the guard to show him the way to the post office.
हाँ, क्योंकि ये इम्पेरेटिव है, रिक्वेस्ट है, तो यहाँ पे हमने टू लगाया।
Hmm. तो यहाँ पे प्लीज लगाना जरूरी है कि कैन वी रिमूव इट प्लीज,
यू
दैट इज
कैन
द
रिमूव
क्वेश्चन।
क्योंकि रिक्वेस्ट लिखा आपने।
हाँ। एंड जैसे एक अभी मेरे पास वो फेस नहीं आया था जिसमें एक्सक्लेमेटरी सेंटेंसेस हैं, तो उसमें मैंने एक आधा एग्जाम्पल पढ़ा था कहीं से, दैट वाज सेइंग कि जैसे जॉय, वाओ, तो जैसे राम विद द जॉय ही सेड, वाओ की जगह था, तो ये वाले वर्ड्स यूज करेंगे, मैंने इनडायरेक्ट में करेंगे।
एक्सक्लेम्ड विथ जॉय।
हाँ। हाँ, एक्सक्लेम्ड वर्ड बोलते हैं।
हाँ,
तो एंड व्हेन इट इज सैड देन व्हाट वी विल से,
ही वाज।
अल्लाह।
हाँ, सो लाइक ही वाज सैडेंड टू, टू लगा के यू विल।
ओके। Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much for clearing my doubts.
ओके, थैंक
Okay.
यू एवरीवन, गुड नाइट।
Good night.